Salams and welcome. Thank you for joining me in the Quran Summaries by Maulana Sayyid Abul Ala Maududi Rah'ma'tul'laah in his wonderful book, the Tafhim al-Quran, the meaning of the Quran. And today we are busy with chapter number 107, known as Surah Al-Ma'un, the small random acts of kindness or the small acts of neighborly needs. Right. The theme and subject matter. The theme of this chapter is to point out what kind of morals a person, man or woman, develops when he or she refuses to believe in the hereafter. In verses 2 to 3, the condition of the disbelievers who openly belie the hereafter has been described, and in the last 4 verses, the state of those hypocrites who apparently are Muslims but have no concept or idea of the hereafter, the judgment day, and the meting out of rewards and punishments has been described. On the whole object of depicting the attitude and conduct of 2 kinds of people is to impress and emphasize the point that human beings cannot develop a strong, stable, and pure character. A person, whether man or woman, cannot develop a strong and pure character in himself or herself unless and until he or she believes in the hereafter with absolute certainty. And let's look at the verses. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Have you seen him who belies the rewards and punishments of the hereafter? He it is who drives away the orphans and does not urge giving away the food of the poor. Then woe to the praying ones who are careless of their prayer, who do good only to be seen and withhold even small kindnesses from the people. The word ad-deen is a Quranic term is used for the rewards and punishments of the hereafter as well as for the religion of Islam. The style shows that the object of asking this question at the outset is not to ask whether the Prophet has seen a person or not, but to invite the listener to consider as to what kind of character is produced in man when he or she denies the judgment of the hereafter, and to urge him to know the kind of people who belie the creed so that he tries to understand the moral significance of belief in the hereafter. The sentence Yadu al-Yatim, as used in the original, has a few meanings. We see that he deprives the orphan of his right and evicting him from his father's heritage, thus thrusts him away. Secondly, that if an orphan comes to ask him for help, he repulses him instead of showing compassion. And thirdly, that he ill-treats an orphan. And la yahaddu means that the person neither persuades his own self nor tells the people of his household to provide the poor man with his food. This is all to do with social justice, right? To provide the poor man with his food, nor does he urge others to recognize the rights of the poor and the needy of society who are really starving and going through difficulty, and to give them even something to satisfy the hunger of the poor people. Here, by giving only 2 examples, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has pointed out what kinds of evils are produced in people who deny the hereafter. The real object is not to point out only these 2 evils, that the people drive away orphans and don't feed people. Those are not the only 2 evils. There are much more, but these 2 are just given as examples. There are countless of evils that are produced because of those who don't believe in the hereafter, which every noble and sound-natured person will regard as hateful. Besides, another thing meant to be impressed is that if this very man had believed and he would have to go before God to render an account of his deeds, he would not have committed such evils as to deprive the orphans of his rights, tyrannize him, repulse him, neither feed the poor man nor urge others to feed the poor, and so on. So the belief of the hereafter is very, very important for the moral, spiritual, and ethical transformation of society. Otherwise, people live in heedlessness, right? And then we find you have moral degeneration and spiritual bankruptcy in a society. This society then collapses upon itself. The word ma'un, let's just see very quickly what that means. The view held by Hazrat A'lee ibn Umar, Sayyid bin Jubair, Qatada and others is that it implies the zakat while others say that it implies items of common use. For example, the cooking pot, the bucket, the hatchet, the balance, the salt, water, like something your neighbor is asking for, right? You want to use your lawnmower or your spade or something like that. I want to use your drill, and then you return it. But some people are so stingy and hard-hearted that they won't even give the small acts of ma'un, which means small acts of kindness. So ma'un, in fact, is a small little thing useful to the people. Right, useful for neighborly needs. So these people are so stingy and niggardly that they won't even help out the neighbors for even simple things. Borrow me your step ladder, or lend me your shovel, or can I borrow your hose pipe, whatever it is. They won't even do that as well. They say, give me some salt and water, I'll return it to you. No, we got nothing here. So these are people who deny or belie the concept of the hereafter, right? So that brings us to the end of the short chapter. Stay well, look after yourself. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.